Your job is not to sell people. Your job is to help the prospect make the best decision for themselves when they're faced with looking in the mirror. What problem are they trying to solve? What are they running away from? True presence looks like you're fully engaged with what they're saying. You don't interrupt them. When you guys have a consistent routine and consistent process, outcomes come up as a byproduct.
Yo, what's going on? In this video, you're about to watch an in-depth training that I give to my setting team to help them stop being so attached to making the set, just to put sets up on the board, and forcing people to hop on these sales calls with the closers just to pad their stats, right? I find that a lot of setters in the space, when they have to reach certain KPIs, they tend to stress out and it clouds their judgment and they're not sure whether or not they should put someone up on the board or not. And since it clouds their judgment, it actually hinders their performance. So that way they aren't able to perform at their highest level in flow state. So if you're a business owner, you're operating an offer, or if you're managing a sales team, this training is perfect for you. Send this to your sales team. Now, if you need help on dialing in your setting process, just shoot me a DM at The Real Aaron Thomas down in the description below, and I'll see how I can help out. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the training.
Your real job as a setter. All right. So in order for any of this to work, in order for you guys to be like exceptional setters, you have to be in the mind state of wanting to actually help people. Okay. This is the core reason as to why salespeople even exist in the first place. The reason why we get paid so much is because we're able to help out people and to change them into an identity where they can actually achieve their desired outcomes. All right. But if they cannot achieve the desired outcomes, well, we simply will not get paid, which is why refunds and disputes happen. So again, I'm emphasizing that your job is not to just set these people, but to help them, even if that means redirecting them to the free course or to another business model. All right. You have to truly work in their best interest. And when you guys help them truly get them to where they want to go, you setting them and them closing will be a byproduct of that. So focus on the inputs like your process and not the output like your sets and closes. Okay. Control what you can control. And if you're radiating that you need a set, which is what the closer just mentioned earlier this morning, you guys will come off as salesy, which is what we call a commission breath. All right. And when you truly want to help someone, you'll ask the right questions. So I want you guys to think of sales as you helping your friend, changing them into their desired identity or reality, except you get to do it for other people and get paid a lot of fucking money for it. First thing is why most setters struggle, which is the root issue. So most setters struggle is because they're too attached to the outcome. When you're attached to the outcome / want to get the set, you listen to respond, not to actually understand the people. You rush the conversation. You're trying to think of the best next questions to ask. You're too much in your head, and then the prospect feels that pressure, even if you don't say anything pushy. Because we're all energetic beings. We can feel energy. Okay, that's why people say, oh, the vibe wasn't right or the vibe was amazing. The vibration is what they mean. Prospects can feel the neediness and attachment instantly. It's just like dating, right? If you're radiating this energy of being desperate and needy, you're going to repel the other person you like away. When you need an outcome to happen in order to feel okay, you create that resistance and you actually repel the thing that you want further away from you because you're in the state of want instead of actually being. Now you're no longer operating from alignment or confidence, but from lack. And when you're desperate, you're energetically saying, oh, I don't have this. I need this to feel whole. I'm afraid it won't happen. This mindset produces tension, overthinking, forcing, and grasping behavior, and then micro actions that sabotage outcomes. All right. So people feel this, opportunities feels this, and life responds to this. And now a huge thing too as well that I want to mention. So I want you guys to think of life like this, right? So you have the image and then you guys have reality, okay? This doesn't say reality, it's reflection. So you have your image and reflection. Your mindset is pretty much a reflection of your reality. So if you have a shitty mindset or if you are thinking negatively about yourself or if you're like coming off as too attached to certain people or certain situations, your reality is going to reflect that way. That's why certain people, they don't know why they're stuck in certain loops. It's just because of their mindset. Okay. Right now, if we have a no-show problem, it's probably because of your mindset, right? Something isn't aligned with where you want to be at. So that's all reality is. I just wanted to draw this little, diagram for you guys, because a lot of times people will try to change the effect, right? This is the effect, and then this is the cause, right? You can't change your effect with an effect. You can't just work harder to change your reality. You have to change it first with your mindset and then obviously spiritual, which is another training for another time. But it all starts with you is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you can't expect these people to show up if you yourself aren't showing up for yourself. If you're promising yourself to wake up at a certain time, but you're not doing that and you're sleeping in an hour extra later, you're probably going to have no-shows. Okay, if you're trying to get these people to spend $12,000 on a program, but you yourself are struggling to pay $1,000 to invest within yourself, or you don't want to buy the food for your family member or a friend, why the fuck would someone else do that to you? It doesn't make any sense. Like, life is literally, and sales is literally just a mirror at the end of the day. Now, what you have to understand is that you already are enough. You don't need these prospects at all. You don't need money. You don't need anything. You already are enough. And this is the paradox that a lot of people miss. There's a huge difference between being attached and being desperate, like, oh, I must have this or I'm not okay, versus being intentional and being detached. Whereas, like, okay, I have a burning desire for this. I want this deeply. And if it happens or not, I'm okay. Right? Huge difference. Now, detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It just means that you're not emotionally dependent on the outcome. That's why confident people attract certain things. Calm energy is magnetic. Whatever happens, I'm good. That's the type of mentality that you guys gotta have. Now, the core principle, your job is not to sell people. Your job is to help the prospect make the best decision for themselves when they're faced with looking in the mirror. And when you truly adopt this mindset, your energy changes, you start asking the right questions, resistance goes down, trust goes up, and your conversations feel slower, cleaner, and more natural. You're pretty much in flow state. Now, when you set people, right, and you set closes, all become a byproduct of you feeling this way, of your inputs, and not something that you're actually chasing. Now, detach from the sale and remove outcome attachment. So what attachment looks like on calls is pretty much just, I think I was reviewing one of your guys' calls. You guys are kind of like forcing them on them. You're like, yeah, just book the call. It's just a chat to talk with, to see how we can help you get started or whatever, right? Don't force people on these calls. If these people don't want to hop on the call, then that's fine. That's better for you, right? We don't want to take on everybody. Not everybody's perfect for our program. We're not perfect for everybody. There has to be alignment there. Another thing too is feeling anxious during discovery and objection handling when downselling. You're over-explaining, you're adding fluff to your questions, or you're talking too much. You're booking them on the calendar, hoping and praying that they'll close. You're emotionally affected by no-shows, right? Attachment means you're just pretty much making the call about you and not them. I want you guys to reverse engineer the process. It's very simple. If your sets aren't closing, figure out why, right? If it's fear, pre-handle that on the setting call. If it's uncertainty, pre-handle that on the setting call. Money isn't liquid. What do you think you have to do? Start making sure the money's liquid. If they need the partner, make sure that the partner's on the call with them. If it's not the right time or they don't have the right time to trade, what do you think you have to do? Make sure they have the time on the setting call. It's very simple. Set's not showing up, we'll figure out where you lost them, right? Did you follow up with them by calling them to see if they show up? Did you follow this document here? Right, step by step. Did you send them testimonials prior to the call? Did you make sure that absolutely 100% they could make it to the call and they didn't have anything else that could come up? Did they actually want to hop on the call, or did you just book them in for the sake of it, just to pad your stats? Are they actually looking for more information, or do they actually want help? Did you say something on the call that pushed them away? Right? Like, are you the sole decision maker? Did you make them feel the need to actually change during discovery? Were you too attached to booking them in? Were you acting how you are off your sales calls and empathizing with them? Right? All of these matter, right? Were you matching their energy? Now, number 3, if you're not getting enough sets, figure out why. Are you putting in more volume to reach your goals, or are you just doing the bare ass minimum of $200 or 2 hours and 15-minute talk time just to make me not get mad? Are you pushing away leads by not listening to them? Are they actually financially qualified? Right? These are all things that you guys can do on a day-to-day basis to help you guys reach your goals. Okay. Now, why attachment kills performance? If you notice, I'm talking about attachment a lot. That's because it's the number one reason why you guys aren't where you want to be. Okay. But when you're attached, again, you subconsciously assume shit. You ignore the red flags for the sake of booking them in. You resist disqualifying leads. You push instead of guide. All this extra stuff. I already talked about that. But again, your job isn't here to convince, persuade, chase, or impress. You're here to understand, put yourself in their shoes, figure out where they're coming from. I want you guys to think of it like this, right? Let's say you're on Discovery. I'm on a call with Diego, and I'm trying to get him. I'm on a setting call with him. My sole job And my sole purpose on that call is just to figure out, put my shoes into his shoes and figure out, okay, how does it feel working a 9 to 5, working 80 hours a week, and I'm not able to see my kids? How would I feel if I was him? And I'm asking him those questions so that way he tells me, and he also reminds himself of how he's feeling. Obviously, it feels shitty, right? So what I want to do is just empathize with him and be a human. Not like, oh, okay, you're not able to see your family. That sucks. How much money do you have set aside? Like that's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Clarify, explore, help them decide. Again, detachment does not mean you don't care. Now, practical rule: if the prospect says no, I want you guys to think of it like this: if they don't want to hop on the call, cool. Your life does not change. If they say yes, cool. Your life does not change. Your job stays the same either way. I want you guys to be neutral, and this is not just for setting, but for life in general. If you guys have a really big month of making 20K a month as a setter for your first month, amazing, right? Be proud of that for a few seconds, but then just be neutral after that. You don't need to go on the super high and be like, oh, have this super huge ego, and then because then what that's going to do is it's going to affect your performance, and then it's going to affect how people look at you. Right? If you guys make 20K a month or 10K a month or have your biggest month, just stay neutral. If you guys make less than 5K a month, just stay neutral. The only thing that needs to be consistent is your inputs. As a setter, if you're trying to persuade people or give them the extra push on a setting call, more often than not, they're not going to show up to the closing call for these reasons. Number one, it's honest. You just met this person, number one. Number two, there's time between the initial setting call and the closing call. More often than not, it's usually a day. They have time to think about it. They have time to sleep on it. They're not going to show up to the call. Number three, they don't know what to expect on the other call as well. They don't know if they have to make a decision because we're already talking about price on the initial setting call. And that also freaks them out as well. So if you feel like you have to persuade someone and you take like an hour on that call trying to get them on the sales call, they're not going to show up. So if people want to do it by themselves, yeah, sure, you can give them a perspective. That's fine. But if they're still stuck in their ways, just let them be. There's thousands of other leads out there. Part two. So I want you guys to shift from selling to helping. So a selling mindset is like, how do I get this guy to book? What do I say next? How do I overcome this objection? Helping is like, okay, what's actually going on in the world right now to where they want the help from us? What problem are they trying to solve? What are they running away from? Right? That's the only reason why people actually sign up for our free course and opt in for an ad. It's just because subconsciously they know they need to make a change. It's our job, though, to put, again, the mirror up to them and say, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what's going on, XYZ. Okay, are we even the right fit for them? The quality of answers that prospects give you is directly tied to the intent behind your questions. When prospects feel like they're actually being helped, they open up, they tell you the truth, they give you context. You help people see clearly. Clear people make decisions. Okay, people that are confused usually stall and they need to think about it. Now, the paradoxical truth is the less you need to sell, the more likely it is to happen. Okay, it's just the law of the universe. That's just how it is. Prospects trust neutrality. Now, number three, presence and active listening. So this is non-negotiable. Most setters are not listening. So they're thinking about the next question, thinking about the framework, or they're thinking about how can I set this guy or how would I sound. This pulls you out the moment. True presence looks like you're fully engaged with what they're saying. You don't interrupt them unless if they're yapping a lot and their conversation's not going anywhere, well, then you do it a certain way. Or you respond directly to what they said, not what you had planned to ask, right? Your next question should come from their last answer. And then 4, put yourself in the prospect's shoes. Actually seek to understand. Okay, every prospect has some sort of fear, skepticism, past bad experience, uncertainty, internal pressure. Your job isn't to just overcome this immediately. It's just to understand it. Okay. Empathy is not agreeing with them. So you can understand them without agreeing with them, right? You can acknowledge them without validating their excuses. So I want you guys to ask yourself on every single call, if I were this person, what would I be worried about? What would I need to feel safe, right? What would I need to feel understood? And then speak from that place. And then part 5, how this changes your results. So when you adopt this mindset, your calls feel lighter. There's not a lot of pressure. Prospects talk more. You'll get objections coming up earlier where you guys can pre-handle them. your sure rate improves, and then you stop taking rejection personally. And then you actually become consistent on having a process. That's the thing, is like when you guys have be consistent with having a process on what you do on a day-to-day basis, not getting emotional when things don't go your way, life is 100 times better. I can tell you guys this from experience because I had adopted certain standards in my personal life that I have to do every single day, like waking up on time, putting God first, family second, prioritizing myself and my personal health and my being. When you guys have a consistent routine and consistent process, outcomes come up as a byproduct. Don't focus on making 10K, 20K a month. Focus on how to become that person who is making that amount of money. And then before every call, you can just some sort of affirmations. Just say, hey, I'm here to help. I'm not here to sell. I'm releasing attachment to the outcome. I stay present and listen deeply. I will seek to understand before guiding. So that's pretty much it. But the whole point of this training was just to get you guys to because I feel like a lot of you guys are focused on just setting as many people as possible because it may be the KPIs or so you don't get put on the PIP plan. But in order for you guys not to get put on that, this has to come first.